Hi, my name's Elena Taghipour, and I present to you Galaxies, but more specifically, the Architecture of Galaxies, with reference to Edwin Hubble's tuning fork diagram, also known as his 1936 System of Classification for the Extragalactic Nebulae. In order to begin unpacking the massive components of what a galaxy is made up of, we must first distinguish the various classifications of galaxies living in the cosmos. With galaxies being such an immeasurable size, it's hard to imagine how to dissect these nebulae into its simpler forms. Luckily, we have astronomer Edwin Hubble, who had undergone extensive research in a lifelong pursuit to create what is now known as the tuning fork diagram to help us classify what he liked to call galaxies, the extragalactic nebulae. Hubble's discovery for his system could not have been made without the hundreds of photographs made with Mount Wilson's 60 and 100-inch telescopes. Hubble's system has a few essential features, starting with dividing galaxies into two broad types: regulars and irregulars. Most regulars can be recognized by having rotational symmetry from a central nucleus. However, irregulars lacking the symmetry were much harder to encourage research on its architecture, so they are not as prominent in this system. Galaxies that were understood as regular were categorized as either a spiral or an elliptical. Spiral galaxies were then differentiated between a barred spiral or not. A barred spiral contains a line of sorts that drags across the nucleus. If we move up the tuning fork, we see that the variety of spirals and ellipticals are organized by the size of nuclear region and openness of the arms. Spiral galaxies, in a nutshell, have a central bulge of stars and a pancake-like disk that extends outwards from its core. We mustn't forget the spherical stellar halo that encompasses both the bulge and the disk. But let's move a little deeper. What is this disk made up of? Allow me to explain. The bulge can be simply described as a dense ball of stars, whereas the disk is a flat, whirling mass of both gas and stars, alternating between light and dark streaks. And what about the halo? What is its purpose? The halo of any spiral galaxy is defined by the huge groupings of stars that follow extremely eccentric orbits around the galaxy's center. The halo acts as a diffuse boundary in which very few globular clusters leave this boundary, but in the odd chance they do, they are referred to as intergalactic tramps. Components of a spiral galaxy don't stop here. They have a massive dark secret known as the dark halo. The matter that makes up this halo is none other than what's known as dark matter. What this matter lacks in detectable radiation makes up for it in capable mass that contributes to a spiral galaxy's infamous rotation. Before we move on to ellipticals, I'd like to clarify what the bar in a barred spiral actually is. The bar is a structure comprised of stars that is running through the bulge. This bar affects how the interstellar gas, stars, and arms spiral. Elliptical galaxies are known to be more simple in their structural design. They resemble massive elongated circles with striking luminosity. These galaxies differ from spirals due to their lack of gas and dust. Elliptical galaxies are mostly made up of old stars. Now, with both types of galaxies comes a great variety in size and proportion. Even though spiral galaxies vary in size from small to our neighboring giant Andromeda, Ellipticals have a far greater range in scale. Ellipticals' great scale in size can have them win titles of smallest galaxies that exist to the universe's largest. We've come to the end. Thank you for your time, and this was The Architecture of Galaxies, featuring Edwin Hubble's tuning fork diagram.